presentation. So Adam Hayes is a Special Olympics Maryland athlete, and we're going to get right to it from Frederick County. Adam, how old are you?
I'm 37 years old.
And when did you start participating? How old were you when you started participating in Special Olympics?
I was 11 years old back in 1995.
All right, so that's 26 years you've been in Special Olympics, right?
Yep.
What sports do you train and compete in, Adam?
Cycling, soccer, basketball, alpine skiing, swimming, and I train in tennis.
Excellent. And as you think about those sports, what's the best part of participating in Special Olympics?
The best part about participating in Special Olympics is getting to show my disability doesn't define me through all of the great things that I get to do every day, and being seen as a contributing member of society.
That's great. So let's expand on that a little bit, Adam. So among the sports that you do, what is your favorite sport?
Cycling.
All right. And so in a typical year, how many training miles do you typically log?
On a typical year, I ride about 1,500 miles.
All right. So if there's anybody amongst the M&T team that cycles 1,500 miles a year, can you raise your hand? I don't see any. So that in and of itself, I think one of the things that's important and helpful to understand is we provide sports training competition for all ability levels, all ranges of ability. There's no obstacle to entry. So people can come in having never participated in a sport and begin to learn it and kind of grow. We really cater to trying to be as inclusive as possible and give athletes every opportunity. So Adam, during the COVID year, how many miles did you cycle?
So in 2020, I went even further and rode 2,700 miles.
All right, so that's pretty cool and amazing. So let's take the folks at M&T back to when you started cycling. How many years ago, or what year did you start cycling?
2006.
All right, and one of the things I mentioned earlier in this conversation was the health disparities. And Adam, when you started cycling, do you remember how much you weighed?
About 240 pounds.
All right, and then through your efforts in cycling, just share with the group what that meant in terms of your own physical fitness and well-being.
Well, when I started, I played sports and all that stuff, but I didn't really get as much exercise until I found my passion and love for cycling, thanks to my younger brother, who is a huge cyclist, and I wanted to try to get into doing it too. So through that interest, I started riding around my town and up in the mountains and all that stuff. And at that time, I still had a mountain bike, which is heavier than what I have right now, a lighter road bike. And because of that, riding almost every day for like 7 months, I lost about 40 pounds from riding my bike so much throughout that time, and I've been able to keep it off.
Yeah, so that's awesome, Adam. And I think Adam is an inspirational leader for us. So Adam, just briefly, we have an athlete leadership council, right?
Right.
And you're the chair of the athlete leadership council. It represents all of the athletes. Can you just share a little bit in terms of the importance of that group from your perspective?
So the athlete leadership council is a group of athletes from all over Maryland, of all different types, and we sit down 4 times a year and discuss issues and topics that are brought up by our fellow athletes, and I get to, as the chairperson, I help run the meetings, and our athlete Leadership Council brings back topics from our fellow athletes, or even from the state office, where they may want some recommendations, and we sit down and we talk about those topics and give them our own feedback. And it's really cool because our athlete, because um, Special Olympics is about giving people with intellectual disabilities a chance to lead the way into a more inclusive future. As it was said by we just had our 50th anniversary last year, I believe, and it was first said that Special Olympics was for the athletes, but now it's time for Special Olympics to be led by the athletes for the next 50 years and beyond.
So that's awesome, Adam. I think that one of the key points here for individuals who have had limited or no interaction in recent years with individuals with intellectual disabilities, I often am asked, well, how should I interact with the athletes? What should I be thinking about? And my response is always, treat them with dignity and respect. They don't want your pity. They don't want your sympathy. All they want is an opportunity to show who they are. And as Adam described, not be defined by their disability. Our athletes have, as you're experiencing today with Adam, our athletes have their own personal story. They have their own range of abilities that all contributes to making our communities across Maryland better. And so we're trying as much as we can to get athletes like Adam out there so that they can lead the way and so that people can become more informed and really contribute to this concept of creating these interactive, inclusive communities of dignity and respect. So, Adam, in terms of your cycling exploits, let's just give people a sense. When you compete, what distances do you compete at?
5K, 3.1 miles, 10K, 6.2 miles, and 15K, 9.3 miles.
Awesome. And you had the good fortune of competing similar to the Olympic Games. We have World Games every 4 years. We are not the Paralympics. Sometimes people make that assumption that we're part of the Paralympics. The Paralympics that are the Winter Games that are going on now will be followed by the Paralympics here in the next couple of weeks. That is not us. We are a separate entity. And so we have every 4 years our World Games. It's the equivalent of kind of our Olympic Games. But we also have every 4 years the USA Games. In fact, we'll be sending a significant over 200 athletes and coaches and volunteers to our USA Games in Orlando in June. But Adam had the opportunity and good fortune to compete in 2014 at the USA Games in New Jersey. And Adam, can you just share how you competed and the results up there?
So, as Jim said, I competed in 3 events: 5K, 10K, and 15K road race, and I came out with 2 of these bad boys, 2 golds in 5 and 10K road race, and it was really cool because I not only got those golds, but I even beat my personal best while competing, especially in my second race when I was in last place in the last mile or so. I was able to catch up to all my competitors and draft off them until I got 200 feet from the finish line and was able to zoom past my the first place finisher to get gold.
That's awesome, Adam. And I'm watching the clock here, so I want to be sensitive of time. But there's 2 more things I want to point out. One is Adam is also a Special Olympics Maryland team member. He works at Special Olympics Maryland. Adam, can you just briefly describe the role that you play for us?
Absolutely. So I'm a digital media coordinator in the athlete leadership department. I create small videos in-house, and I help manage our athlete leadership social media, and I help find new athlete leaders like myself who want to make a difference and lead the way for our fellow athletes.
Thanks for that, Adam. And then finally, one of the things that is a challenge for us is that the nature of having an intellectual disability is hard to conceptualize in terms of explaining to people what it is. It's not a visible physical disability. It is really a function of how individuals interact. The neuro, we talk about neurodiversity, and as you listen to Adam, you could be wondering, well, what's Adam's circumstances, right? So individuals with Down syndrome, as an example, are individuals that have intellectual disabilities, but they make up less than 2% of the population of people with intellectual disabilities. And so one of the things that's, I think, valuable to share is we've got a wide range of individuals. The circumstances from which people ultimately live with an intellectual disability is wide ranging. Oftentimes it happens through birth. Or in the early childhood development years. But as impressive as Adam is, when you hear this next part of his life, you'll understand how much he's accomplished with that. So Adam, can we just talk briefly about hydrocephalus?
So as Jim said, I have a condition known as hydrocephalus, meaning water on the brain, thanks to the ancient Greeks. My brain creates too much cerebral spinal fluid, which helps cushion all of our brains from bouncing around. And but I create too much of it, and I don't have any way of draining it. So I have, and because of that, I have these things called shunts, which are drains that drain the fluid from my brain down to my abdomen. And I've had 34 major brain surgeries to help replace these shunts throughout my life.
And so I just want to make sure everybody knows that they heard him correctly.